What is going on? In today's video, I'm going to be covering over specifically how I built a $1 million a year sales team and exactly how you can do the same for yourself. That's scalable, commission-based, and you can start it from scratch. So first, I'm going to cover over finding the sales reps, then qualifying all the applications, how to interview these people properly, how to master all compensation structures to get the full effects out of each and every hire, how to actually onboard each new hire, how to train them up to KPI, track their team performance, scaling up team volume, tracking team churn, culture and retention, and hiring a sales manager. This is going to be step by step, A through Z. Number one is finding sales reps. A couple good ways is outbound strategies, specifically leveraging Facebook groups or school groups. Ideally, paid or private groups are the best. Normally shows more commitment on the actual sales rep side of things, wanting to find a position, to find early stage candidates. You can go with these free groups, sometimes just mass approach these job posts, and they could work, but I recommend going paid or private groups because they're going to get a lot of higher quality applicants. Like I said, you can do a job post or you can just reach out to these people. One of the two, both work, DMs or job posts. Facebook and school specifically. Referrals is another great one. You can incentivize your internal team or other connections you have within the industry for a referral bonus, like a $500 to $1,500 bonus for each rep that they refer your way that stays on and performs. You know, you could pay 10% of the commissions earned from that setter until you pay this referee $1,000, right? Give the referee an actual reason to want to refer people over to you. But if you have a good referral program for talent, like I said, with your internal team and also external connections that you have within the industry, this is going to be another lever that you can pull that constantly works for you and brings you in new applicants. Another one, and this is probably one of the better ones, is organic content, specifically short form content to showcase your culture and opportunity and really get your name out there, and obviously long form to go more in depth on who you are, what you do, etc. Sales reps are watching. They're watching sales videos. They're watching things on that topic. So if you could get more in the space and get in front of them, it's going to be huge because all the best setters I've had, some of the best ones have come from organic content because they've been watching me for a while. They understand my process, my business, and they're eager to work and get to work and help grow the company. So it's a really, really good concept for organic content. And then another one you can use, I personally haven't used it too much, but it's paid ads. So you can spend money on Facebook or YouTube, run ads to a certain person's audience that looks like sales reps, and you can see if that works. Once again, I personally have never had any experience with this, but I've heard good and bad things about it. Try it for your own, see what happens. Once you get those sales applicants, you're going to send them all a type form application to fill out to formally apply for the position. In this type form, you're going to ask for location, experience, availability, and then you're going to have an optional 1 to 2 minute loom to explain why they're a good fit. If they don't submit the loom, I'm not even going to look at it. Being truthfully honest, right? You're then going to categorize them in a CRM like Monday, ClickUp, some CRM where you can track all the applications, and you're going to look at the loom, look at their experience, their availability, and qualify them as qualified, mediocre, unqualified. This is going to save time, so you're not having to set up an interview with each and every person, and you're able to pre-qualify them beforehand. You're then going to reach out to those qualified applicants and set up a weekly interview. This is 5 to 15 applicants per weekly interview. And you're going to reach out to them and host a group interview. The reason this is super important, I used to have my calendar filled up with one-on-ones for interviews. There's just not enough time in a day. You can either get a hiring manager or you can take on probably 10 times the interviews in a month or more if you just did group interviews. So do group interviews. It's going to allow you to interview multiple people at once. You're going to ask the same questions. What's got you wanting to look for a sales role? What other positions have you been in? What's your experience look like, etc.? What are you looking to earn? When are you looking to earn that by? Why do you want to earn that, etc.? You're going to ask those questions and you're going to leave it open-ended. You're going to see who takes initiative, who asks questions, who copies other people, who stands out. You want to really see who's the 1 or 2 gems out of that bunch. It's super easy to see in a group setting overview. And then you're going to pull those top candidates and you're going to message them privately to stay after. You're going to close the group interview and then you're going to go straight into pitching those 2 applicants, those 2, 3, 4 applicants that made it to that next round per se. Then you're focused on selling them on you. So now you've figured out that, hey, they're a good fit. I want them to join the company. Now you got to go into selling them. Everyone thinks that hiring is just, hey, come work for me, like you deserve to work for, or you deserve to work for me, et cetera, whatever it may be. You have to have a reason for them to want to work with you. Explain your comp plan, your training, your culture, your vision. Sell them on you and where the company is going. Give them a reason to want to work with you. All A players, some A players will take a pay cut if they truly believe in the vision and where the company is growing, right? So you gotta really sell them on the vision as well. With that being said, then you want to master compensation structure. So you want to blend consistency with incentives. This is something I messed up on for a while. I would always want no base salary on sales reps because I figured it made them more lazy, didn't result in any ROI. They're not so incentivized on commission, et cetera, et cetera. I was wrong, right? Like something like a $1,500 base and a 20% commission closed on deals is a really, really good setup to go with if you have the right sales rep. If you have a sales rep who maybe you need more variable off of, you can go, a $500 base. If you hit 15 qualified shows, 30 qualified shows is $1,000. You can have it be variable as well if someone's still training up and you kind of don't know where they fit. But if you got someone who's performing, then definitely give them a base plus commission. If it's someone new, make sure to have a good compensation structure that can get them that consistent income, but also gets them very highly incentivized on commissions. Just don't go too much on one side. And always align the pay with the KPIs that grow the business. Don't just give someone a base with no KPI behind it. There has to be a key performance indicator that they need to hit or that they're striving to hit, that if it's not hit, serious things need to happen to fix that. That's how you're going to master compensation structures. So now, to recap where we started. We found sales reps, we got them to apply, we're qualifying the applicants, we set up group interview, found the best of the best, we pitched them on us, and we've mastered the comp structures that we're giving to them. Once you actually onboard these new hires, you want to build a simple onboarding course. This goes through scripts, objection handlers, tools, walkthroughs, so CRM, dialer, etc. And then you want to give them live call examples to go over. So if it's a setter, for example, you'd have your cold call scripts, your warm call scripts, the objection handlers, how the dialer works, how to tag people, etc. And then you'd have a big catalog of live cold calls from other good setters that they can model off of. This is super important because within the first week, they're going to be able to see exactly what good looks like and just marinate in good calls. You're going to have them join your stand-up meetings. So you should be running daily stand-ups Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday. 20 to 30 minute call, setting the tone for the day, getting the team pumped up and motivated, going over wins from the other day. And then you're also going to be doing a lot of one-on-ones and group coaching throughout the week with the team. You want new reps to be joining stand-up each day so they can get in that process without actually having started calling. And then ideally, if you also have more people on the team, assign a mentor or like a role play buddy to that specific new setter, so they can easily get onboarded and helped by this other person if they have any questions, etc. If you do this, have them go through the course within that first week. They're going to learn almost everything they need to. And then from there, it's just jumping into the calls. They're not going to have it perfect. Nobody has it perfect. You just need to jump into the calls and jump into the deep end and learn from doing. Once they jump into the deep end, start making those calls, you want to have clear KPIs. So how many appointments booked are we looking for? What's the show rate? What's the conversion rate? And then you're going to want to hold weekly group coaching sessions, live call reviews, one-on-one feedbacks, live calls that you do in front of the team to constantly upskill and train your team even further. You don't want to get a setter, and then just say, hey, good luck. You want to make sure you're constantly training them and getting better and better. And true A-player talent is going to want to get better and grow within the company. This is going to allow you to reinforce small wins, track progress publicly, and then build confidence with each and every setter. And then with that being said, if someone's not hitting KPI, you're able to help them get back up to speed, etc. So your KPI could be 30 appointments booked a month, 75% show rate, 20% conversion rate. And that's a good KPI to track your team to where if you've got a setter and they've got 30 meetings booked and 10 showed, they're at a 33% show rate. Not too shabby, or not too shabby. No, it's not good, is what I meant to say. It's not good, right? So that now you know, hey, that setter specifically needs work on their show rate, their expectation setting, etc. It allows you to really, really get into the weeds, into the details about specifically what you need to improve for them. Then, once you got that in place, you want to make sure that you're tracking the team's overall performance. You should have a live dashboard on, Google Sheets or something like that tracks the dials, conversations, leads, appointments, qualified show-ups, closes, etc. This is really cool because overall, it's going to be a dashboard for the whole team to see, a scorecard to track everyone's performance. It gamifies the whole process. So sales can sometimes be very mind numbing, but having a gamified part of the process really helps. You can use leaderboards, shout outs, incentives to fuel the growth further. And then once again, you can review this every week to spot top performers, catch underperformance early, and identify coaching opportunities. So you can see everyone's pickup rate, everyone's show rate, everyone's close rate on each appointment that they set. And you can really see, okay, this person's phone number needs to be changed. This person has a really, really low pickup to meeting book rate. Like, what's going on here? What do we need to improve? What part of the pitch needs to be improved, etc. And you can dive into those specific details with each rep. Once again, also very important to gamify it, make sure it's fun for them, make leaderboards, make incentives, weekly winners, etc., etc. Then you're going to want to scale up the team volume. Once 1 to 2 reps are consistently booking appointments, then repeat the hiring cycle above. Hire in batches to avoid downtime. There is going to be a natural churn, which I'll touch on in the next part of this document, but there's a natural churn with sales reps. So you want to make sure that you're tracking that and you know how many reps you need to keep on growing. And then you want to maintain a consistent pipeline of potential hires. So don't wait until you're behind on hires or you need to hire for a sales rep. This is one of the biggest downfalls I had for the longest time. Make sure you're consistently 24/7, 365, looking for new reps, looking for new reps, looking for new reps. You can always say no on reps that you have in, but if you don't have any reps, you're kind of left, empty, dry. So that's how you're going to scale up team volume. Make sure you track team churn. Every month, every quarter, make sure you track those attrition rates, how many reps are staying, how many reps are leaving. So let's say I have 10 reps that book 10 appointments each. That's 100 appointments a month. Let's say my goal for next month is 200 appointments, but I know each and every month I lose 1 rep. I have 10% churn rate. Well, now I know if each rep performs 10 appointments, I need 20 reps. I know 1 is going to leave at the end of this month. Therefore, I know how much reps I need to add. This is going to help you understand, number 1, if your culture and or compensation structure is good or bad, or if it needs adjustments. And then number 2, you can forecast the hiring volume if you want to continue to grow and scale. Number 10, culture and retention. This is one of the most important things. You have to build a high performance and fun environment. Have there be a wins channel. Honestly, it should be daily wins, daily, weekly wins, whatever you want to do. Have a wins channel that's constantly going. Team competitions, internal promotions, right? Look to give everyone within the company a plan to scale, right? From maybe setter to closer to sales manager, etc. Make sure they've got that plan to work toward, or at least a goal of theirs. Whenever you're onboarding a new setter, you should figure out their income goal, their personal goal, and over the course of them working at your company, you should get them to that goal and past there. And that's really going to help with retention. Regular check-ins to make sure each rep feels seen and supported. Show a growth path, whether that's into closing, team lead, or manager, etc. And then with that being said, have it be a high performance environment. Make it like if you got 10 top performer appointment setters, for example, and you get someone coming in who's like a C player, they're naturally just going to leave, because they just don't fit in. But then there's also people who are naturally going to come in and they're just going to get amplified by the culture overall. And that's the kind of culture you want to build overall with your team. And then make sure they're friends, right? They don't need to be best friends, but our sales reps will often set up group coachings together and role plays, and they constantly want to get better, and they're all motivated towards a similar goal that they all have in mind. So they're all moving towards that. And it's better to move in packs because it keeps the motivation overall higher. Then you've got all this going. You've got a sales team. You've built it out. Now it's hiring a sales manager. So I always look to promote within someone who's one of your top setters, one of your most consistent setters, etc. They know the process. They hit KPIs. They've earned respect from the rest of the team. Promote this person to a sales manager. Their main responsibilities are going to be interviewing and onboarding new reps, doing consistent call reviews, coaching, role play, one-on-one trainings, etc. And then holding the team accountable to hitting those KPIs overall. This comp structure could be, it could be a small $1,500, $2,000 base, maybe $4,000 base, depends on what you want to do. But it should also be very incentivized on commission, just like how a setter is. So let's say it's a $3,000 a month base and then 10% of all new monthly recurring revenue generated for that month. You want your sales manager to have a reason for the company to grow each and every month. So have them be incentivized highly off commission of the team's performance as well. And then have the bonuses obviously tie into that team performance as well. So you can make sure that the manager's on the same page as each one of the sales reps. And then once again, to make sure your manager stays sharp and stays involved in sales, have them do some QA. And let's say they're reviewing a call and it's a missed opportunity, have them call that person up and book that meeting, right? It's really going to show the team that, hey, my manager is able to get, in the weeds and actually do the work himself or herself as well. And then it's also going to help keep that manager in play, because the last thing you want is a manager who hasn't made a cold call in 3 months. I had it. Not a good experience whatsoever. You want a manager that consistently has made calls and keeps himself, just even if it's an hour a week, just in that process, in play, because then they know what the reps are going through. They know how the system is, and they can spot more things because they're on that ground level. Take this process, implement it. Build a sales team that prints you $1 million a year, $10 million a year, $100 million a year, so on and so forth. I'm looking forward to scaling this out even further and showing you the growth that this can actually happen or have to your business. I know a lot of people are very big advocates for ads and scaling a company, especially an agency, through advertisements, specifically on Facebook, YouTube, etc. I think you can scale just as quick, if not quicker, with outbound. I'm a big outbound guy. So take this, implement it, see what you can do. Drop a follow, drop a subscribe, a like, whatever you want to do. This can work for almost any industry, real estate, agency, whatever it may be. Take this process, implement it into your business. I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Bye-bye.